Assalamu alaikum, this is Sam Polk with Education HQ. The topic for today is the Democratic National Convention that happened this week. I think it was a wonderful convention. I think it was the best one I've ever seen in my lifetime. I think Obama hit a home run with his speech. I think it was the greatest convention speech that I've ever heard. He even topped himself in 2004 when he introduced Kerry and gained national attention. In comparison with the Republican convention, which was mainly just a pep rally for the rich, so to speak, and a lot of criticism and complaints with no fundamental ideas of what they would do different to make the country better. President Barack, he laid down a foundation not only of what he plans to do in the future with the next 4 years of getting people back to work, putting the middle class first, trying to eliminate the tax cuts for the rich that Bush put into place that has actually put the economy in such dire straits. One fact that people fail to, I guess, mention, I think everybody realizes it, but they just don't mention it. When Barack inherited the White House, it was on fire. So literally for the last 3.5 years, he's been a fireman putting out the fire. And you can complain about him not doing this issue or not doing this issue or not paying attention to this group of people, but you have to realize he had to put out a fire. And he's slowly getting the economy back where it needs to be. He's slowly putting people back to work. But the main issue was the economy. And he's tackling that issue. I think things are getting better. You're not going to fix in 3 years what took 8 years to destroy. The surplus that Clinton had when Bush first came into office. The tax cuts for the rich that eliminate programs for middle class people and poor people to even have simple things that rich people take for granted, like child care. When I have to work 2 and 3 jobs just to make the ends meet. Programs such as school vouchers or food stamps, things that people with means take for granted. If I had $1 for every time I've encountered a Caucasian person in the same financial situation as myself or worse, that is voting for a Republican ticket, I just shake my head. It couldn't be anything other than racism, because the Republican Party has always had rich people at the forefront. Bush said it best at a fundraiser for Romney. It was, I think, a $30,000 a plate dinner. And he said, "These are my people, the haves and the have-nots." And that's basically the two sides of it. The Democratic Party, whether you're white, black, whatever, if you're middle class or lower, and you're trying to get a higher standard of living, not only for yourself, but you want to make the future better for your children. This is the first generation where the parents are going to have done better than the children. For the first time in American history, instead of being able to leave something for your children, your offspring, the only thing that the parents are going to leave is debt. They're going to bequeath debt. This is the first time in American history. And Obama's actually trying to rectify that. He said in his speech that there were certain things that the Republicans want to do that he just won't stand for. He won't allow it. And whether you are black or white, Republican or Democrat, if you're not rich or wealthy, and even if you are, if you're just a good person, I don't see how you could not vote for President Obama. Some other good things came out of the convention, sort of like in 2004 where Obama was introduced to the nation as the next big thing. I think San Antonio Mayor Castro had a good speech, and also Deval Patrick. And I think those two, I'm predicting, will be our Democratic ticket in 2016. I think they did a wonderful job, and I also heard Obama a couple years ago said those two are the ones he's been waiting for. I didn't quite know what he meant at the time, and I didn't know much about them then, but I see what he means now. And overall, the Democratic convention was a success. In comparison to the Republican convention, there wasn't comparison. The Democratic convention was professional. They not only laid out their plans for the future and what they wanted to do, but how they were going to go about it and how they were going to fix problems in the future. Where the Republicans had no ideas, only complaints and a bunch of bolstering. There was a black lady, I can't remember her name, but she was a camerawoman at the Republican Party, and it was actually an episode where people were throwing peanuts at her and saying that this is how we treat our animals. They didn't get much TV coverage, but it did happen. You would have never seen anything like that allowed to take place at the Democratic convention. I think that shows the different mindsets of the party. And if you are an independent and you have no political affiliation whatsoever, I encourage you to register and go out and vote for Obama, because he has, I believe, your interests at heart. And that's Sam Pope. This is Education HQ. See you next time.